Welcome to Audiobook segment. Every story you'll hear is crafted from the ground up, written, produced and narrated entirely by us. Nothing recycled, nothing repurposed, just original work made for this channel. So grab your headphones, settle in and enjoy today's audiobook. Have you ever set a goal that didn't excite you? Something so simple that even if you achieved it, it didn't change much in your life. Many people play it safe when setting goals. They aim for what feels comfortable, reachable, and certain. But real growth, true personal transformation, happens when you dare to set goals that stretch you beyond what you think is possible. This audiobook will guide you through that journey. In the next chapters, you will discover how to set powerful goals that challenge your limits and push you to grow. You'll learn why comfort can be dangerous, how to identify goals that inspire you, and how to stay consistent even when progress feels slow. These lessons aren't just about achieving more, they're about becoming more. Growth doesn't come from doing what you already know. It comes from stepping into the unknown, from testing your potential, from finding out what you're truly capable of. Each time you stretch your goals, you stretch your mindset, your discipline, and your confidence. That's how you evolve into the person you're meant to be. So, as you listen, open your mind and your heart. Don't rush through these words. Let them guide you, challenge you, and inspire you to think bigger than ever before. If you enjoy this audiobook, don't forget to follow and subscribe. Your journey toward powerful goal setting starts right here, right now. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The Power of Stretch Goals. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to set small, safe goals? Maybe you tell yourself you'll read a few more pages, save a little money, or try to wake up earlier. Those goals feel comfortable, and they don't scare you. But have you also noticed how often those goals fail to create real change? The truth is, comfort rarely leads to growth. To evolve, to truly grow, you need to set goals that push your limits. Goals that make you slightly uncomfortable. Goals that stretch you beyond who you are today. These are called stretch goals. Stretch goals aren't about chasing something impossible. They are about expanding your potential. They live just beyond your current ability, far enough to challenge you, but close enough to be achievable through focus, effort, and persistence. When you set a stretch goal, you tell your mind that you are capable of more than your current circumstances suggest. You challenge yourself to step outside the limits of what feels easy and enter a space where learning and growth happen naturally. Think of it this way: if you lift the same weight every day at the gym, your muscles never grow. They only strengthen when you lift something slightly heavier, something that challenges you. The same principle applies to your personal goals. When you aim higher than what feels safe, you develop new skills, habits, and levels of discipline that you wouldn't need for smaller goals. But why do so many people avoid stretch goals? Because they fear failure. They fear the discomfort that comes with uncertainty. It feels easier to choose something safe and guaranteed than to risk disappointment. Yet, that fear is exactly why stretch goals matter. They force you to face the edges of your comfort zone and build resilience. The discomfort you feel while pursuing a challenging goal is proof that you're growing. When you set a stretch goal, you awaken a new kind of motivation. It's no longer about ticking boxes or doing what's easy. It becomes about proving to yourself that you can go further than you thought possible. This internal drive changes how you act, how you think, and how you see yourself. For example, imagine a student who consistently earns average grades. If they set a goal to improve slightly, to go from a C to a B, they might study a little more, but the effort won't transform them. However, if that student decides to aim for an A, they must change their habits completely. They will need to study more consistently, manage time better, ask for help, and think differently about learning. Even if they don't achieve the A immediately, they'll grow far more than they would have by aiming for the small step. That's the power of stretch goals. They change who you become in the process. Stretch goals also shift your focus from results to growth. When you pursue something challenging, you stop obsessing over perfection and start valuing progress. You learn to appreciate small wins and steady improvement. This mindset, progress over perfection, is one of the most powerful attitudes you can develop in life. However, setting a stretch goal doesn't mean being unrealistic. It's not about saying you'll run a marathon next week if you've never run before. It's about finding the sweet spot between comfort and impossibility, the zone where effort creates growth. This is where you push your limits, but not to the point of burnout or discouragement. To set the right kind of stretch goal, start by evaluating your current level. Ask yourself, what's the next level that feels uncomfortable but achievable if I give my best effort? Maybe it's doubling your savings, launching your first small business, or committing to daily exercise. The goal should feel exciting and a little intimidating at the same time. That feeling is a sign that you're stretching. Once you've identified your goal, write it down clearly. Don't just say, I want to get better at something. Instead, define it. I want to learn a new language well enough to hold a conversation within 6 months. A clear, measurable goal gives your brain direction and focus. Now break your stretch goal into smaller milestones. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but milestones make them manageable. Each small success builds confidence and reinforces momentum. You begin to realize that the impossible starts to look possible when you take it step by step. Consistency becomes your greatest ally. You don't have to make giant leaps every day, just small, steady steps. The key is to keep going, even on the days you don't feel motivated. Discipline will carry you when motivation fades. Another essential element of pursuing stretch goals is reflection. Take time each week to assess your progress. Ask yourself what's working, what's not, and how you can adjust your approach. Reflection keeps you accountable and helps you stay aligned with your purpose. Also, surround yourself with people who encourage growth. Being around those who think big and challenge themselves will inspire you to do the same. Supportive environments create energy, belief, and accountability, all of which help you stay focused on your stretch goals. As you continue to stretch, you'll notice something powerful happening. Your mindset changes. You begin to think bigger, believe more deeply in yourself, and see potential where you once saw limits. Challenges become opportunities, and setbacks become lessons. That's the real transformation, who you become through the pursuit of your stretch goals. Remember, growth doesn't come from comfort. The most fulfilling goals are the ones that challenge you to dig deep, stay focused, and rise after every setback. When you push yourself to stretch, you discover new strengths, build resilience, and expand what you believe is possible. So, as you move forward, take a moment to reflect. What area of your life feels too comfortable right now? What goal could you set that excites you and scares you just a little? That's where your next level begins. If you're enjoying this audiobook, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how to identify the right kind of goals, the ones that truly align with your purpose and push you toward your best self. Chapter 2. Discovering your true motivation. Why do you really want what you want? It's a question many people never stop to ask. They set goals because they feel they're supposed to get a better job, make more money, lose some weight, or buy a bigger house. But when you ask why, things get interesting. The truth is, motivation is the fuel that powers every goal. Without it, even the best plans fall apart. Discovering your true motivations is about understanding what drives you deep inside, not just what looks good on the surface. Many people confuse motivation with pressure. They think they're motivated because society expects them to achieve certain things. But real motivation doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. External pressure may push you for a while, but it won't last when challenges appear. Only internal motivation, the kind that comes from your personal values, dreams, and desires, can sustain you through the long journey toward your goals. Imagine two people training for a marathon. One is doing it because everyone at work is signing up, and they don't want to feel left out. The other is doing it because running makes them feel alive and helps them overcome personal limits. The second person will train harder, endure more, and stay committed longer. Why? Because their motivation comes from within. To discover your true motivations, start by asking yourself, what does success mean to me? Forget what the world says it should mean. For some, success means peace and balance. For others, it means challenge and achievement. If your definition of success doesn't match your inner desires, your goals will always feel empty, even when you achieve them. Take time to explore what genuinely excites you. What makes you lose track of time when you're doing it? What kind of challenges energize you rather than drain you? These are clues to your true motivations. When your goals connect to these deeper passions, they gain meaning and power. Understanding your why transforms the way you see your goals. It gives purpose to your effort and meaning to your sacrifices. For example, someone who wants to start a business just to make money might give up when things get hard, but someone who wants to build something meaningful, something that improves lives, will push through the difficulties. The difference is motivation. Your why doesn't have to be huge or dramatic. It just needs to be real. Maybe you want to become stronger so you can take better care of your family. Maybe you want to write a book to share a message that helped you. Or maybe you want to travel the world to experience different cultures and perspectives. Whatever it is, own it. When your motivation is honest and personal, it becomes an unstoppable force. It's also important to separate short-term motivation from long-term purpose. Short-term motivation helps you start, but long-term purpose keeps you going. Excitement fades, obstacles appear. There will be days when you feel tired or doubtful. That's when purpose steps in. Purpose reminds you why you began and keeps you moving forward even when the journey feels heavy. To find your deeper purpose, reflect on what you want your life to represent. What kind of impact do you want to have on the people around you? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Purpose is about aligning your actions with your values. When your goals connect to your values, every step feels meaningful, even when it's difficult. Motivation is not always loud or intense. Sometimes it's quiet, a calm determination that keeps you going when no one is watching. This kind of motivation doesn't depend on praise or recognition. It's built on your belief in the value of what you're doing. You may not feel motivated every day, and that's okay. True motivation is not about constant excitement. It's about consistent commitment. A powerful way to strengthen motivation is visualization. Picture your goal as if it's already achieved. See yourself completing the task, feeling proud, confident, and fulfilled. Visualization creates emotional energy. Your brain begins to treat the goal as real, which makes you more likely to act. The more clearly you see the end result, the stronger your motivation becomes. Another helpful strategy is to link your goals to emotional rewards. Ask yourself, how will I feel when I achieve this? Will you feel proud, free, secure, or at peace? Emotion is a powerful motivator. When your goals connect to emotion, you are less likely to give up when things get hard. However, be careful of false motivation. Sometimes people chase goals to impress others or to feel accepted. These motivations are fragile because they depend on outside validation. When approval disappears, so does motivation. True motivation, on the other hand, is independent. It grows stronger from within. You can discover your genuine motivations through journaling or quiet reflection. Ask yourself questions like, what do I truly care about? What am I willing to work for, even without recognition? What kind of life makes me proud of who I am? Write your answers down and read them often. They will remind you of your deeper purpose whenever you lose focus. Another way to understand your motivations is to look at your frustrations. What makes you angry or deeply concerned? Often, our strongest drives are hidden in our frustrations. For instance, someone who hates seeing wasted potential may be driven to become a teacher or coach. Someone frustrated by injustice might find motivation to become an advocate or leader. Emotions, even negative ones, can reveal powerful sources of motivation. Accountability also helps sustain motivation. When you share your goals with trusted people, you add structure and encouragement. Others can remind you why you started when your energy fades. But remember, their support should guide you, not control you. Your goal is still your own responsibility. Sometimes, motivation changes over time, and that's okay. What drives you today might evolve as you grow. The key is to keep reconnecting with your why. Regularly reflect and ask yourself whether your goals still align with your values and dreams. If they don't, adjust them. Staying flexible keeps your motivation fresh and authentic. When you understand your motivation, even ordinary goals become extraordinary. You'll find more joy in the journey because every action connects to something meaningful. You stop living by obligation and start living by intention. That's when growth feels natural and your goals become expressions of who you truly are. So, before you chase the next achievement, pause. Ask yourself, why do I want this? What does it mean to me? Keep digging until the answer feels honest and powerful. That's your true motivation, the one that will guide you through challenges, doubts, and setbacks. Remember, motivation is not something you find. It's something you create. It comes from living in alignment with your values, following your curiosity, and working towards something that genuinely matters to you. As you move forward, hold your why close. Let it be your compass when things get hard, and they will come back to it. Let it remind you that the struggle is worth it because the goal is meaningful. If this audiobook is helping you discover your inner drive, make sure to subscribe and continue listening. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to transform your motivations into clear, actionable goals that truly stretch and empower you. Chapter 3: Turning Motivation into Actionable Goals. Motivation is powerful, but motivation alone isn't enough. You can feel inspired, excited, and determined, but without clear direction, that energy quickly fades. The truth is, motivation needs structure to survive. You must turn your motivation into actionable goals, goals that are specific, measurable, and realistic enough to pursue every single day. This chapter will help you take your motivation and transform it into a concrete plan for progress. When you first feel inspired, it's tempting to dream big and imagine the end result. You might picture yourself living your best life, achieving success, or finally becoming who you want to be. That's good. It gives you vision. But vision without a plan is like a car without wheels. It can't move forward. The most successful people in any field don't just rely on excitement, they translate that excitement into consistent action. Turning motivation into action starts with clarity. You need to know exactly what you want. A vague goal like "I want to be healthier" doesn't guide your behavior. What does being healthy mean to you? Does it mean exercising 4 times a week, eating balanced meals, or sleeping better? The clearer you are, the more focused your actions will become. Let's say your motivation is to become financially free. That's a strong why, but it's still broad. To make it actionable, you need to break it down. What steps will move you toward that freedom? It could mean saving a certain amount each month, learning about investing, or starting a side business. When you define your goal precisely, you give your motivation a path to follow. One powerful framework for creating actionable goals is the SMART method. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It might sound technical, but it's simply a practical way to organize your dreams into something real. A SMART goal doesn't just say what you want, it defines how and when you'll get there. For example, instead of saying "I want to read more," a SMART goal would be "I will read 1 self-development book every 2 weeks for the next 3 months." That's clear, measurable, and time-bound. It gives your motivation structure. Each time you complete a book, You see progress, and progress keeps motivation alive. Once you've created a clear goal, the next step is to break it into smaller steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming. They often create pressure that leads to procrastination. But when you divide your goal into small, actionable tasks, it becomes manageable. Small wins create momentum. Every time you check off a task, you build confidence and reinforce your belief that you can achieve more. Think of your goal as a staircase. Each step may feel small, but every step takes you closer to the top. Without the first few steps, you'd never reach the end. Big achievements are simply the result of many small, consistent actions over time. Another essential part of turning motivation into action is creating systems. Systems are habits or routines that make progress automatic. If your goal depends only on willpower, you'll struggle. But if you build systems, like setting a daily schedule, creating reminders, or planning your week in advance, you make success easier. Systems turn good intentions into habits, and habits shape your future. Let's imagine your goal is to get fit. You might start with the motivation to look and feel better. Turning that into action means creating a system, scheduling workouts, preparing healthy meals in advance, and tracking your progress. Over time, these habits replace effort with consistency. The system becomes stronger than your mood or motivation on any given day. Accountability also helps. When you share your goals with someone you trust, it increases your commitment. It's easy to break a promise to yourself, but it's harder to disappoint someone who's supporting you. You can also hold yourself accountable by keeping a progress journal or using apps that track your actions. The key is to create a system of checks that keeps you moving forward. Sometimes people get stuck because they overthink instead of acting. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling. But perfection is an illusion. The best way to make progress is to start imperfectly, but consistently. Action creates clarity. You learn more from doing than from thinking. Each step you take reveals what works and what doesn't. That feedback helps you adjust and move closer to your goal. Fear of failure can also hold you back from taking action. Remember that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every mistake teaches you something valuable. Instead of fearing failure, use it as feedback. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? That mindset keeps your motivation strong even when results are slow. Another key to sustaining action is time management. Motivation fades when you feel overwhelmed. But when you manage your time wisely, your actions become more focused and efficient. Set priorities each day. Decide what's most important and complete that first. Protect your time from distractions. Every minute you spend aligned with your goal strengthens your momentum. Your environment plays a big role in turning motivation into action. If you're surrounded by distractions or negativity, it's hard to stay consistent. Create an environment that supports your growth. Keep reminders of your goals visible. Spend time with people who inspire you. Build routines that make it easier to focus and harder to quit. Another powerful strategy is to visualize not just the end result, but the process itself. See yourself doing the work, writing, studying, exercising, practicing, whatever your goal requires. When you mentally rehearse taking action, your brain becomes more comfortable with the effort. The task feels less intimidating, and you're more likely to follow through. It's also important to celebrate progress along the way. Many people wait until they reach the final goal to feel proud. But acknowledging small victories keeps motivation alive. Celebrate every improvement, no matter how small. Progress is proof that your effort is working. Recognizing it reinforces the habit of taking consistent action. Still, there will be times when motivation fades. That's normal. No one feels inspired all the time. When that happens, rely on discipline. Discipline means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. It's the bridge between goals and results. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. Reflection is another crucial step. At the end of each week, look back at what you did, what worked, what didn't, what can you improve. Reflection helps you adjust your approach instead of repeating mistakes. It turns experience into wisdom and keeps your plan alive. Over time, you'll notice something powerful. The gap between thinking and doing starts to shrink. You'll stop waiting for the right moment and start taking action automatically. Your motivation will evolve into a deeper force habit, consistency, and confidence. Turning motivation into action is about movement. It's about showing up, doing the work, and trusting the process. The more you act, the more your motivation grows. Action fuels motivation, not the other way around. When you act, even in small ways, you prove to yourself that you're capable. That belief builds momentum, and momentum creates results. So, take a moment now to think about one goal you've been delaying. What's one small action you can take today? Maybe it's writing a plan, making a call, or learning something new. Whatever it is, start now. The first step doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to happen. Motivation gives you the spark, but action keeps the fire burning. Every step, no matter how small, is a statement that says, I'm moving forward. If you're enjoying this journey, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. In the next chapter, we'll dive into how to build consistency and discipline, the real foundation that keeps your goals alive even when motivation fades. Chapter 4. Building consistency and discipline. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. It's easy to begin something when you feel inspired, but it's discipline that keeps you moving forward on the days when you don't. Every successful person you admire, athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, relies more on discipline than on motivation. They've learned that consistency beats intensity, and small steps taken every day lead to massive results over time. Discipline is not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. It's about showing up again and again, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Think of discipline as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. At first it might feel uncomfortable to push yourself, but with practice, your mind and body adapt. Soon, doing the hard things becomes part of who you are. Many people think discipline is restrictive, like a set of rules that takes away freedom. In reality, it's the opposite. Discipline gives you freedom. When you control your actions and habits, you gain control over your future. Without discipline, you become a prisoner to your impulses, distractions, and moods. With it, you decide what kind of life you want to create. Consistency is what turns discipline into progress. You can't achieve lasting change by doing something once or twice. Real growth happens through repetition. A single workout won't make you strong, and one day of studying won't make you a master. But when you repeat small actions daily, the results begin to compound. Every repetition sends a message to your brain. This is who I am. Over time, that identity shapes your behavior automatically. Let's look at an example. Imagine someone who wants to learn the guitar. They could practice for 6 hours one day and then not touch the instrument for 2 weeks. That's effort, but not consistency. Another person might practice only 20 minutes every day. After a month, who improves more? The second person, because consistent effort beats occasional intensity. The same principle applies to every goal: fitness, business, learning, or personal growth. So how do you build consistency and discipline in your life? It starts with making small, realistic commitments. If you set the bar too high at first, you'll burn out quickly. Start small, build the habit, and then expand. If you want to start exercising, begin with 15 minutes a day. If you want to read more, commit to 10 pages before bed. The key is to create a routine that feels doable even on your worst days. The next step is to remove unnecessary decisions. Every time you have to decide whether or not to do something, your brain spends energy. Over time, that leads to decision fatigue. Successful people simplify their routines to avoid this. They plan their workouts, meals, and schedules in advance, so when it's time to act, there's no question, only action. Discipline thrives when choices are clear and automatic. Habits play a huge role in building discipline. A habit is an action you do repeatedly until it becomes automatic. The more you repeat it, the less effort it requires. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't debate whether or not to do it, you just do it. That's how discipline should feel. By turning positive behaviors into habits, you remove the need for constant motivation. One powerful strategy is habit stacking. This means connecting a new habit to something you already do. For example, if you want to start journaling, do it right after your morning coffee. If you want to meditate, do it before you check your phone. Linking habits together makes it easier to remember and maintain them because your brain loves patterns. Another key factor is environment. Your surroundings can either support or sabotage your discipline. If you want to eat healthy, don't keep junk food where you can see it. If you want to focus, keep your workspace clean and quiet. Make good habits easy to start and bad habits hard to continue. When your environment supports your goals, discipline becomes natural instead of forced. Accountability is also important. Tell someone about your goals or find a partner who shares your vision. When you know someone is watching your progress, you're more likely to stay consistent. You can also create self-accountability through tracking. Keep a simple log of your habits. Check off each day you follow through. Over time, those marks become a visual reminder of your discipline. It feels good to see your progress build, and that feeling keeps you motivated. Still, even the most disciplined people face moments of weakness. There will be days when you slip, miss a task, or fall short. That doesn't mean you've failed. What matters is how quickly you recover. The secret to lasting consistency is learning to restart immediately after you stumble. Missing one day won't hurt you, but giving up after one mistake will. Forgive yourself, refocus, and continue. One powerful mindset shift is to focus on identity rather than outcome. Instead of saying, "I want to be fit," say, "I'm the kind of person who takes care of my body." Instead of saying, "I want to be successful," say, "I'm the kind of person who works hard every day." When you identify as the kind of person who acts with discipline, your behavior naturally follows. Self-talk plays a big role here. The words you use with yourself matter. If you constantly say, "I'm lazy" or "I can't stay consistent," your brain starts believing it. But when you tell yourself, "I'm improving" or "I can handle this," you create a mindset that supports growth. Discipline begins in the mind before it appears in your actions. Another way to build discipline is through delayed gratification. That means choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. Our brains love instant gratification. Scrolling on social media, eating junk food, or skipping a task feels good right away. But discipline means resisting those quick rewards to gain something greater later. Every time you delay gratification, you strengthen your self-control. It's like training your brain to value the future over the present. To make this easier, visualize the long-term outcome. Picture yourself achieving your goal and feeling proud of your effort. When the temptation to quit appears, remind yourself of how good it will feel when you succeed. The more clearly you see the reward, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined in the moment. Rest is also part of discipline. Many people think working non-stop shows strength, but true discipline includes knowing when to pause. Your mind and body need recovery to perform well. Overworking leads to burnout, and burnout kills consistency. Build rest into your routine, time for sleep, relaxation, and reflection. Balance doesn't weaken discipline, it sustains it. Tracking progress is another powerful tool. When you measure your actions, you make them real. Whether it's a journal, an app, or a simple notebook, record what you do each day. Seeing your growth builds motivation and helps you adjust when things don't work. It turns discipline from something abstract into something visible. When you struggle to stay consistent, focus on your why. Why did you start this goal? What will your life look like if you keep going? Your why is your anchor. When your emotions fluctuate or life gets tough, your purpose reminds you why the effort is worth it. People who stay connected to their purpose find it easier to stay disciplined because their actions feel meaningful. Another powerful approach is to make your routine enjoyable. Discipline doesn't mean suffering. You can find joy in the process by rewarding yourself for consistency. Listen to your favorite music while working out, enjoy your favorite coffee after finishing a task, or treat yourself to a relaxing evening when you complete a milestone. Small rewards reinforce positive behavior and make consistency easier to maintain. Visualization can help too. Each morning, spend a few minutes picturing yourself following through on your plans. Imagine yourself staying focused, making progress, and feeling proud at the end of the day. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind to act with purpose. Athletes and performers use visualization all the time because the brain responds to imagined success in the same way it does to real success. Over time, discipline transforms you. At first, it feels like effort, but eventually, it becomes identity. You no longer need to force yourself. You simply act according to who you are. You stop depending on moods and start relying on habits. This transformation is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Discipline is the bridge between goals and reality. It doesn't happen overnight, but with every small act of consistency, you strengthen it. Each day you show up, even when it's hard, you're proving something powerful to yourself. You can be trusted to follow through. And once you trust yourself, anything becomes possible. So remember, success isn't about doing something once with intensity. It's about doing it every day with intention. Stay consistent. Keep showing up. Build the habit of doing what needs to be done, not just what feels easy. Over time, your discipline will carry you further than motivation ever could. If you're enjoying this audiobook, take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Chapter 5. Overcoming distractions and staying focused. Focus is the secret ingredient behind every great achievement. It's what turns effort into progress and dreams into reality. Without focus, even the most talented person struggles to make progress. Distraction is everywhere: your phone, social media, endless notifications, and even your own thoughts. In a world full of noise, learning to stay focused has become one of the most valuable skills you can build. But focus isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you train, just like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. The challenge is that modern life is designed to steal your attention. Every app, every advertisement, and every platform competes for your focus. If you don't control your attention, something else will. To overcome distractions, you first need to understand them. There are two main types of distractions: external and internal. External distractions come from your environment, your phone buzzing, people talking, background noise, or constant notifications. Internal distractions come from within, your thoughts, emotions, and the urge to avoid difficult tasks. Most people blame external things, but in reality, internal distractions are often the hardest to manage. Let's start with external distractions. The easiest way to reduce them is to design your environment for focus. That means removing temptations before they tempt you. Put your phone in another room or turn off notifications when you're working. If you need to use your phone for work, keep only the essential apps open. Every notification you silence gives you a small victory of attention. Create a workspace that tells your brain it's time to focus. Keep your desk clean, your tools ready, and your environment quiet. Clutter creates chaos, not only in your surroundings, but also in your mind. When you simplify your physical space, your thoughts become clearer. Even small changes, like using noise-canceling headphones or keeping only one task visible, can make a big difference. Internal distractions are more complex because they come from your own mind. Have you ever started working and suddenly found yourself daydreaming, checking your phone, or worrying about something else? That's your mind seeking comfort. The human brain doesn't like discomfort, and focus can sometimes feel uncomfortable. It takes effort and energy, so your brain tries to escape into something easier. The key is awareness. You can't control your thoughts if you're not aware of them. When you notice yourself drifting, gently bring your attention back to the task. Don't judge yourself, just return. Every time you refocus, you're strengthening your mental muscles. Over time, it becomes easier to stay on track. One of the best tools for improving focus is the Pomodoro technique. It's simple. Work for 25 minutes, then rest for 5. After 4 cycles, take a longer break. This method works because it aligns with how the brain naturally functions. It can focus intensely for short bursts before needing rest. The short breaks prevent burnout and make it easier to stay consistent throughout the day. Another important strategy is setting clear intentions before you start working. Instead of sitting down and saying, "I need to work," say, "I'm going to write this report," or "I'm going to study this topic for 30 minutes. When your brain knows exactly what it's supposed to do, it's less likely to wander. Clarity creates focus. Multitasking is another major enemy of focus. Many people believe they can handle multiple tasks at once, but the truth is, multitasking reduces both speed and quality. Your brain can only fully focus on one thing at a time. When you switch tasks, you lose momentum. Studies show that constant task switching can reduce productivity by up to 40%. So if you want to get more done, do one thing at a time, and do it well. Another simple but powerful tool for focus is time blocking. This means setting aside specific blocks of time for specific tasks. During that time, you do only that task, nothing else. When the time is up, you take a short break or move on. Time blocking creates boundaries for your attention and helps you protect your focus from interruptions. Your energy levels also affect your focus. You can't expect deep concentration when you're tired or hungry. Your brain needs fuel and rest to perform well. Prioritize sleep, eat balanced meals, and take care of your body. Physical health and mental clarity are deeply connected. When your body feels good, your mind works better. Mindfulness can also help improve focus. Mindfulness is simply paying full attention to the present moment without judgment. When you practice mindfulness through breathing, meditation, or even slow, intentional movement, you train your brain to stay in the now. It teaches you to notice distractions without reacting to them. Even 5 minutes of mindfulness a day can make a big difference in your ability to concentrate. Another powerful strategy is to identify your focus hours. Everyone has times of the day when their mind feels sharper. For some people, it's early morning. For others, it's late at night. Pay attention to when you feel most alert and use those hours for your most important work. Protect that time from interruptions and distractions. You can also use the 2-minute rule to fight procrastination. If something will take less than 2 minutes, do it right away. This prevents small tasks from piling up and cluttering your mind. When you handle small distractions quickly, you free up more mental energy for deep work. Music can also influence focus. Some people work best in silence, while others focus better with calm background music. Instrumental or ambient music can help block noise and create rhythm. Experiment to find what works best for you. The goal is to create an atmosphere that helps your mind settle into concentration. Another common distraction comes from your own goals and worries. Sometimes you can't focus because you're thinking too much about the outcome. You keep wondering, will this be good enough? Or what if I fail? These thoughts pull your attention away from the work itself. The secret is to focus on the process, not the result. When you give your full attention to what you're doing right now, the results take care of themselves. Set boundaries with others as well. Let people around you know when you're working and don't want to be disturbed. You can't focus deeply if you're constantly interrupted. Be clear and consistent about your focus time, and people will learn to respect it. Digital distractions are one of the biggest challenges today. Social media, notifications, and endless scrolling steal hours from your day. To regain control, set digital limits. Turn off notifications, log out of social apps during work, or use website blockers if needed. You can even set specific times to check messages so you're not constantly reacting. Remember, your phone should serve you, not control you. Sometimes, distraction is a sign of deeper resistance. Maybe the task feels too big, too boring, or too uncertain. When that happens, break it down into smaller, simpler steps. The brain resists overwhelming tasks, but embraces clear, doable ones. Once you start, momentum builds naturally. Another powerful mindset shift is to treat focus like a skill, not a punishment. Many people think focus means forcing themselves to do something they don't enjoy. But real focus is about aligning your attention with something that matters to you. When you remember why your task is important, how it connects to your goals and values, your motivation grows stronger. Sometimes your focus fades, not because of distraction, but because of stress or emotional overload. When your mind feels cluttered, take a break to reset. Go for a short walk, stretch, breathe deeply, or write down what's bothering you. Clearing your mind helps you come back with more energy and clarity. Don't underestimate the power of simplicity. The fewer things you try to do at once, the easier it is to focus deeply on what matters. Every time you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else. Learn to say no to distractions that don't serve your goals. Protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Another powerful method is visualization. Before you start a task, imagine yourself working with full focus and completing it successfully. Picture how it feels to be in flow, fully absorbed, confident, and calm. This mental rehearsal prepares your brain to perform that state in reality. The truth is, distractions will never completely disappear. The world will always be noisy and full of temptations. But focus isn't about having a perfect environment. It's about training yourself to return to your task again and again. Every time you bring your attention back, you're strengthening your ability to concentrate. Over time, focus becomes a habit. You stop chasing distractions because you realize how good it feels to be fully present. You start enjoying the process instead of fighting it. Deep work gives you a sense of peace and satisfaction that no quick dopamine hit can replace. In the end, focus is freedom. When you control your attention, you control your time. And when you control your time, you control your life. Distractions will always try to steal your energy, but you get to decide where your attention goes. Each moment you spend focused on your goals brings you one step closer to the life you want to live. So take a moment to look around your life. What distractions are stealing your focus? What small changes can you make today to protect your attention? Maybe it's turning off your phone during work, cleaning your desk, or setting a schedule that prioritizes your most important goals. Start with one small change and commit to it. Because focus isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. If you're enjoying this audiobook, don't forget to subscribe so you can continue your journey. Chapter 6: Building Confidence Through Progress. Confidence doesn't come from wishing or pretending. It grows from progress. Small, consistent steps that prove to you that you can do what you set out to do. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build through experience, effort, and persistence. Every time you take action, every time you overcome a challenge, you strengthen that inner belief that says, I can handle this. Most people think confidence comes after success. They believe they need to achieve something big before they can feel confident. But the truth is the opposite. Confidence comes before success. It's the courage to take action before you know how everything will turn out. It's trusting yourself enough to start, even when you don't have all the answers. That trust is built through progress, through doing, learning, and improving a little every day. Think back to when you first learned something new, like riding a bike. At first, you were unsure. You probably fell a few times, but with each try, you learned how to balance better, pedal smoother, and steer more confidently. You didn't gain confidence by reading about riding a bike. You gained it by doing. Progress, not perfection, gave you belief in your ability. The same rule applies to every goal in life. Progress builds confidence because it gives you evidence. When you see yourself taking consistent action, your brain begins to trust you. Each completed task becomes proof that you're capable. Even small wins matter. They remind you that you're moving forward, even if you're not where you want to be yet. Confidence doesn't require giant leaps, it grows with steady steps. The mistake many people make is waiting to feel confident before they start. They tell themselves, once I feel ready, I'll begin. But that moment never comes. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. The more you act, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more confident you become. It's a cycle that feeds itself, but it starts with that first brave step. One of the best ways to build confidence is to focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is a trap that destroys confidence. It makes you believe that if something isn't flawless, it's worthless. But progress is honest. It shows growth. When you measure your improvement instead of comparing yourself to others, you'll see how far you've come. That awareness is what fuels lasting confidence. Keep track of your progress in a visible way. Write down what you accomplish each day, no matter how small. Maybe you studied for 20 minutes, exercised for half an hour, or completed one difficult task. Seeing those actions add up builds momentum. It reminds you that effort matters. Even on days when you feel like nothing is changing, your consistency is shaping your confidence behind the scenes. Confidence also grows from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you follow through on what you said you'd do, you build self-trust. Every time you break that promise, your self-belief weakens. Think of it like a relationship with yourself. If someone keeps their word, you trust them. If they constantly break promises, you don't. The same thing happens inside your own mind. Discipline and consistency make your self-trust unshakable. To build confidence through progress, it's important to set goals that challenge you, but don't overwhelm you. If your goals are too easy, you won't grow. If they're too hard, you'll feel discouraged. The right goal stretches you just enough to build strength and resilience. Each time you conquer a challenge that once felt difficult, your self-belief expands. Feedback is another powerful confidence builder. Progress doesn't always mean getting everything right. Sometimes, progress means learning from what went wrong. Failure can be a great teacher if you use it wisely. When you make mistakes, don't let them destroy your confidence. Let them refine it. Each mistake carries a lesson that brings you closer to mastery. It's also important to celebrate small victories. Confidence grows when you take time to recognize your effort. Don't wait until the big finish line to feel proud. Celebrate every improvement, every completed step, every day you didn't give up. Those moments remind you that success is a journey, not a single event. Your environment also influences your confidence. Surround yourself with people who support your progress and believe in your potential. Avoid those who constantly criticize or discourage you. The energy around you matters. When you're in a supportive environment, your confidence grows naturally because you feel safe to try, fail, and try again. Another way to strengthen confidence is to shift your focus from fear to preparation. Fear often comes from uncertainty, from not knowing what will happen. The more prepared you are, the less space fear has to control you. Preparation builds confidence because it turns anxiety into action. The more you learn, practice, and improve your skills, the more certain you feel in your ability to perform. Visualization can help too. Picture yourself succeeding, handling challenges, and staying calm under pressure. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real and imagined experience. When you visualize success, you're training your mind to believe it's possible. This mental rehearsal prepares you to act with confidence in real situations. Self-talk is another critical part of confidence. The way you speak to yourself shapes how you feel about yourself. If your inner voice is harsh, critical, and negative, it weakens your belief. Replace that voice with one that's kind and encouraging. When you fail, tell yourself, "I'm learning." When you succeed, say, "I earned this." Be your own coach, not your own critic. Progress also teaches you patience. Confidence doesn't grow overnight. Just like a seed, it needs time, care, and repetition. You won't feel confident every day, but that doesn't mean you're failing. Growth happens quietly, below the surface. Long before it becomes visible, the important thing is to keep showing up, even when results are slow. One of the biggest confidence killers is comparison. When you constantly compare your progress to others, you overlook your own growth. Everyone's journey is different. Someone else's chapter 10 might be your chapter 2. Measure yourself against who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. That's how true confidence stays grounded and real. Confidence also comes from aligning your actions with your values. When you live in a way that matches what you believe in, you feel authentic and strong. When your behavior doesn't match your values, you feel conflicted and uncertain. Know what matters to you, and let your actions reflect that. Confidence grows when you live with integrity. Sometimes, progress will be invisible. You'll be working hard, but you won't see immediate results. That's where faith comes in. The belief that your effort is building something even when you can't yet see it. The seed doesn't sprout the moment it's planted, but that doesn't mean it isn't growing. Trust the process. Confidence is built one unseen step at a time. Another source of confidence is gratitude. When you focus on what you've accomplished instead of what you lack, your mindset becomes stronger. Gratitude reminds you of your progress and helps you appreciate the journey. Each step forward, no matter how small, deserves recognition. Gratitude turns frustration into motivation. To build lasting confidence, combine self-awareness, effort, and compassion. Know your strengths, work on your weaknesses, and forgive yourself for mistakes. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's quiet strength. It's knowing your worth without needing to prove it to anyone. At its core, confidence through progress means believing in your ability to grow. It's understanding that no one starts as an expert, but everyone has the power to improve. Each small win adds a brick to your foundation of self-belief. Over time, that foundation becomes unshakable. So, don't wait until you feel confident to start. Start now, and let progress create your confidence. Trust your effort, trust your growth, and remember that every step forward, no matter how small, counts. Because real confidence doesn't shout, it shows up. If you're enjoying this journey, make sure to subscribe and stay with us. Chapter 7: Managing Setbacks and Turning Failures into Growth. Setbacks are not the end of the road. They are a part of it. Every successful person you admire has failed, probably more times than you can imagine. But what makes them different is not that they never fall, it's that they never stop getting back up. They use every setback as a lesson, every failure as feedback, and every challenge as fuel for growth. When you set big goals that stretch you, you will face difficulties. You'll have moments when things don't work out the way you planned. Maybe you'll lose motivation. Maybe your plans will fall apart. Maybe people will doubt you, or you'll doubt yourself. These moments test your strength. They ask one question: will you give up, or will you grow? The truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. You can't separate one from the other. Every breakthrough is built on lessons learned from what didn't work before. When you learn to see failure as information instead of judgment, it stops being something to fear. It becomes something to use. Think about how a scientist works. When an experiment fails, they don't give up. They record what happened, adjust their method, and try again. Each result, whether good or bad, brings them closer to understanding. Life works the same way. Every setback you face contains data, valuable information that can guide your next step if you're willing to look at it with curiosity instead of frustration. But that's easier said than done. When you fail, it can hurt. You might feel embarrassed, angry, or discouraged. Those feelings are normal. The key is not to let them control your future decisions. Take time to feel them, then shift your focus to what the experience taught you. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can I do better next time? These questions turn pain into progress. Every setback gives you two choices. It can either break you or build you. What decides the outcome isn't the event. It's your mindset. If you believe failure defines you, you'll stop trying. But if you believe failure refines you, you'll become unstoppable. The difference is whether you see failure as a wall or a window. A wall blocks you. A window shows you a new view. Resilient people understand that setbacks are temporary, not permanent. They see them as part of a larger journey. When something goes wrong, they don't label themselves as failures. They label the situation as feedback. That mindset gives them power. It allows them to recover faster, learn faster, and keep moving forward while others quit. Let's take an example. Imagine you set a goal to start a business, and your first attempt fails. You lose money, your idea doesn't work, and you feel defeated. It's easy to think, I'm not cut out for this. But what if you look deeper? Maybe the market wasn't ready. Maybe your product wasn't the right fit. Maybe your strategy needed more time. Every no teaches you something that will help you reach the next yes. Many of the world's most successful people faced huge setbacks before reaching their goals. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked how it felt to fail so much, he replied, "I didn't fail, I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset is the reason he succeeded. He didn't see failure as a stop sign, he saw it as a guidepost. Walt Disney was fired from his first job because his boss said he lacked creativity. Years later, he built one of the most creative companies in history. J.K. Rowling's first Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 publishers. If she had stopped after the first rejection, the world would never have known her story. Each setback tested their commitment and helped them grow stronger. When you face your own setbacks, remember this. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're learning what doesn't work. Every failed attempt takes you one step closer to what does. Success is not about never falling. It's about rising every time you fall. To handle setbacks effectively, start by accepting them as part of the process. Don't deny them, don't hide from them, and don't blame others for them. Acknowledging a setback doesn't make you weak. It makes you honest. Once you accept it, you can analyze it. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What could I control? And what will I do differently next time? Reflection turns failure into wisdom. If you skip reflection, you'll repeat the same mistakes. But if you take time to analyze, you transform setbacks into strategy. You become smarter, stronger, and more adaptable. Another important step is to separate your identity from your results. Failing at something doesn't make you a failure as a person. You are not your mistakes. You are the lessons you learn from them. When you understand that failure loses its power to shame you, it becomes something you can look at objectively, like a teacher giving you notes on how to improve. Patience is another essential part of managing setbacks. Progress rarely happens in a straight line. Sometimes you'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's okay. Growth is messy, unpredictable, and often uncomfortable, but every step counts, even the backward ones, because they teach you balance and perspective. It's also helpful to remember that every setback builds emotional strength. You can't develop resilience without challenges. Just like muscles grow when they're pushed, your mind and spirit grow when they're tested. Each time you overcome a failure, you become tougher and more capable. You realize that if you survived one hard moment, you can survive the next. When facing setbacks, the people around you matter. Surround yourself with those who encourage you, not those who laugh at your struggles. You need voices that remind you failure is normal, not shameful. Talk to mentors or friends who have failed and succeeded later. Their stories can help you see that setbacks are stepping stones, not dead ends. Another technique to manage setbacks is to break your recovery into small actions. When something big fails, it's easy to feel lost. You might not know where to start again. The key is to begin small. Fix one thing. Improve one detail. Take one step forward. Those little moves rebuild momentum and confidence. Progress after a setback doesn't mean erasing the past. It means learning to use it. You can't change what happened, but you can change how you respond to it. Every comeback starts with a choice to learn instead of regret. It also helps to reframe the meaning of failure. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I learned." That one change in language changes how your brain interprets the event. The first phrase closes the door. The second opens it. The way you describe your experiences shapes how you feel about them. Choose words that give you power, not pain. Visualization can help during setbacks too. Picture yourself overcoming the challenge. See yourself learning, adapting, and improving. When you imagine success after failure, you train your brain to believe it's possible. This mental rehearsal makes you more resilient when facing real obstacles. Self-compassion is another key to bouncing back. When you fail, it's easy to be harsh on yourself. You might think, "I'm stupid," or "I should have known better." But that kind of thinking only keeps you stuck. Treat yourself the way you'd treat a friend. You wouldn't tell your friend they're worthless. You'd remind them it's okay to make mistakes. Talk to yourself with that same kindness. Remember, setbacks don't erase your progress. They're just pauses, not endings. Think of them as checkpoints on your journey. Sometimes you need to stop, rest, and reassess before you continue. Those moments of reflection often give you the clarity you were missing before. There's a quote that says, "Don't be afraid to start over. It's a chance to build something better this time." Each restart gives you an opportunity to apply what you've learned. You're not beginning from zero, you're beginning from experience. So when life pushes you down, don't see it as punishment. See it as preparation. Maybe you're being shaped for something greater. Every delay, every disappointment, every failure might be building the strength you'll need for your next breakthrough. In the end, setbacks teach you three powerful truths. First, that you're stronger than you think. Second, that mistakes don't define you, they refine you. And third, that growth is born from perseverance, not perfection. If you can remember these truths, no failure will ever be final. Every goal that stretches you will test you. But if you stay patient, keep learning, and never stop trying, you'll realize that the path to success isn't straight, it's a spiral. Every time you fall, you rise a little higher. So embrace your setbacks. Let them teach you, shape you, and prepare you. Because your story of success will be built on the foundation of everything you learned from failure. Stay strong, keep growing, and never forget, every fall is a step forward in disguise. Chapter 8. Building Unstoppable Momentum. Momentum is the force that carries you forward, even when motivation fades and challenges appear. It's what separates people who start from people who finish. Momentum isn't magic, it's a combination of consistent action, small wins, and the ability to keep moving. Even when progress seems slow, building unstoppable momentum is about creating systems and habits that push you forward automatically. The first step to momentum is action. You can't build speed by standing still. Every small step you take, no matter how minor it seems, creates movement. Once you start, the next step becomes easier. Momentum feeds on itself. That's why it's important to start, even if you don't feel ready. Action creates energy. Energy creates motivation, and motivation combined with action fuels momentum. Consistency is the foundation of momentum. It doesn't matter how fast you go on one day, what matters is showing up again and again. Daily habits, repeated routines, and small wins create forward motion. Think of it like rolling a heavy boulder up a hill. The first push takes effort, but once it starts moving, it gains speed. Each push after that becomes easier, and before you know it, the boulder is rolling faster than you expected. To maintain momentum, you must break big goals into smaller, achievable steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming and stall progress. But when you focus on one step at a time, movement becomes natural. Each step completed is a small win that boosts confidence, energy, and focus. Momentum grows as you accumulate these wins. Celebrate progress along the way. Many people focus only on the final goal and forget to appreciate the steps they've taken. Recognition of small accomplishments creates positive reinforcement. When you acknowledge your progress, your brain associates action with reward. This encourages more effort, which adds fuel to your momentum. Another key to unstoppable momentum is managing your environment. Surround yourself with people, spaces, and tools that support your growth. Eliminate distractions, organize your workspace, and spend time with individuals who inspire and challenge you. Your environment either propels you forward or holds you back. Momentum thrives in an environment that encourages action and focus. Momentum also requires energy management. Your body and mind need fuel to sustain movement. Exercise, sleep, nutrition, and mental rest all play critical roles. When energy is high, you're able to take action quickly and maintain consistency. When energy is low, momentum slows. Treat your body as part of your system for forward motion. It powers everything else. One technique for building momentum is starting small and scaling. Begin with actions that are easy to complete, then gradually increase the challenge. For example, if your goal is to write a book, start with a paragraph a day. After a week, increase to a page. Momentum grows because your actions are consistent, manageable, and reinforcing. Another essential element is focus. Momentum can be lost if your attention is scattered. Identify the most important tasks, the ones that move you closer to your goal, and dedicate your energy to them. Avoid multitasking. Focused action accelerates momentum because each task is completed efficiently without wasted energy or distraction. Accountability enhances momentum. When you share your goals with someone you trust, it strengthens your commitment. Knowing someone else is aware of your progress motivates you to keep moving forward. Accountability partners, mentors, or even progress tracking apps can create a system that propels your momentum further. Momentum is not about speed, it's about direction and consistency. Many people confuse being busy with being productive. Doing a lot of tasks without focus doesn't create momentum. It drains it. Choose the actions that matter most and repeat them consistently. Direction plus action equals unstoppable momentum. Setbacks will come, but momentum helps you recover faster. When you've been moving steadily toward a goal, one failure doesn't stop you. Momentum gives you resilience. The boulder may hit a small obstacle, but because it's already rolling, it overcomes it and continues. The key is to keep moving, no matter how small the step. Tracking progress visually strengthens momentum. Seeing what you've accomplished, even in small increments, reinforces the feeling of moving forward. A checklist, a journal, or an app can show the accumulation of your effort. Each mark, each note, each completed task acts as a reminder that your efforts are paying off. Momentum also grows when you connect your actions to purpose. Understanding why you are pursuing a goal creates energy that sustains motion. Purpose acts as a fuel that drives you even when the task feels difficult. When motivation dips, your purpose reminds you why you started, helping momentum continue. Discipline and momentum are closely linked. Discipline ensures that you take consistent action, even when motivation fades. Momentum builds as a result. Think of momentum as the engine and discipline as the fuel. Without discipline, the engine stalls. With discipline, the engine runs continuously, even when external conditions are tough. Another powerful strategy is to embrace momentum in cycles. Use periods of intense focus, followed by intentional rest. Working in cycles prevents burnout and keeps energy high. Momentum isn't about pushing yourself to exhaustion. It's about steady, repeatable action that creates long-term growth. Momentum also thrives on incremental improvement. Focus on doing slightly better than yesterday. Small improvements compound over time, creating extraordinary results. If you improve by just 1% each day, the effect after months and years is massive. Momentum grows because progress itself motivates action. A key mindset for momentum is to avoid overthinking. Analysis paralysis can halt progress entirely. Taking action, even imperfect action, keeps the wheel turning. You'll learn, adapt, and refine along the way. Momentum favors movement over hesitation. Start, adjust, and continue. Visualization can enhance momentum. Before starting your work, imagine yourself completing tasks smoothly, efficiently, and successfully. Picture the energy, confidence, and satisfaction that comes with progress. Mental rehearsal prepares your brain to act with efficiency and focus, strengthening momentum before you even begin. Momentum is also fueled by positive reinforcement. Reward yourself for completing actions, meeting small goals, or simply staying consistent. Rewards don't have to be large. They can be a simple break, a small treat, or recognition of effort. Reinforcement keeps your brain engaged and eager to continue. Momentum builds identity. The more you act consistently, the more you see yourself as someone who gets things done. When action becomes part of your identity, inertia works in your favor. You no longer have to convince yourself to act. Movement becomes natural. Your actions define who you are, and momentum reinforces that identity daily. Sometimes, momentum slows despite your best efforts. When that happens, evaluate your system. Are there obstacles you can remove? Are you trying to do too much at once? Are you focusing on the right tasks? Adjust, simplify, and restart. Momentum is dynamic. It grows, slows, and accelerates depending on your choices. Finally, remember that momentum compounds. One day of consistent action leads to another. Small wins accumulate, skills improve, confidence grows, challenges become easier. As momentum builds, you'll notice progress happening faster than you imagined. Momentum is not just movement, it's acceleration toward your goals. So, start now. Take action, however small. Repeat it consistently. Track progress, protect focus, celebrate wins. Adjust when needed. Build systems that keep you moving. Each step adds energy, each effort fuels the next, and soon you'll be moving with unstoppable momentum toward the life you want. Chapter 9. Harnessing self-belief and mental strength. Self-belief is the foundation of every goal you achieve. If you don't trust your own abilities, even the clearest plan or strongest strategy can fail. Mental strength is what allows you to keep going when obstacles appear, when motivation fades, or when fear and doubt try to stop you. Together, self-belief and mental strength form an inner engine that drives you forward, no matter what challenges come your way. Many people underestimate the power of self-belief. They assume that talent or intelligence alone leads to success. While skills matter, without belief in yourself, skills are wasted potential. Confidence allows you to act, to take risks, and to persevere. Mental strength ensures you can keep acting, even when the path is difficult. They work together. Belief fuels action, and action reinforces belief. The first step in harnessing self-belief is awareness. You must know what you are capable of, and acknowledge your strengths. Take time to reflect on past successes, even small ones. Remember moments when you overcame challenges, learned something new, or achieved a goal. These experiences are proof that you have the ability to succeed again. At the same time, mental strength involves accepting your weaknesses. It's not about pretending you're perfect, it's about knowing where improvement is needed, while remaining confident in your ability to grow. Every successful person understands their limitations, but they refuse to let those limitations define them. They use challenges as opportunities to strengthen both skills and mindset. A powerful way to build self-belief is through positive self-talk. The words you speak to yourself shape your reality. Replace thoughts like "I can't do this" with "I will figure this out" or "I am capable of learning." Your inner dialogue has a direct impact on how you respond to challenges. Encouraging self-talk strengthens mental resilience and keeps you moving forward. Visualization is another tool for mental strength. Athletes, performers, and leaders use it to imagine success before it happens. Close your eyes and picture yourself completing tasks, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your goals. Your brain reacts as though these events are real, preparing you to act with confidence in actual situations. Visualization trains your mind to believe in your abilities, reinforcing self-belief. Facing fears is crucial for mental strength. Fear is natural. It signals risk and uncertainty, but it shouldn't control you. The more you confront fears, the less power they hold. Start with small challenges that push you out of your comfort zone. Each success, no matter how minor, builds confidence and strengthens your mental resilience. Over time, you'll find yourself facing bigger challenges with courage rather than hesitation. Resilience is closely linked to mental strength. Life will always present setbacks, distractions, and failures. Mental strength is the ability to recover, adapt, and keep moving forward. When you combine resilience with self-belief, you create a cycle. Confidence drives action. Action builds experience, and experience reinforces confidence. This loop keeps you moving toward your goals even when the journey is difficult. Self-belief also grows through preparation and mastery. The more you practice a skill or learn a subject, the more confident you become in your ability to handle challenges. Mastery doesn't happen overnight, but incremental learning strengthens both competence and self-belief. Every step of progress reinforces the idea that you can overcome obstacles. Discipline is a key partner for mental strength. Belief without action is meaningless. Mental toughness develops when you consistently do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Following through on commitments to yourself builds trust in your abilities and strengthens your confidence to take on bigger challenges. A growth mindset is essential for combining self-belief and mental strength. People with a growth mindset see failures not as proof of inadequacy, but as opportunities to improve. They embrace challenges, seek feedback, and believe their abilities can be developed through effort. This mindset fosters resilience, perseverance, and long-term success. Handling criticism is another component of mental strength. Not all feedback will be positive. Some may feel harsh or discouraging. Mentally strong people distinguish between constructive criticism, which helps them grow, and negativity that serves no purpose. They absorb useful feedback, discard what's unhelpful, and continue forward. This ability to filter input protects confidence while supporting growth. Self-belief is strengthened when you define your own standards for success. Don't rely solely on others' opinions or external measures. Determine what matters to you and pursue it with commitment. When your standards come from within, your confidence is independent of approval from others. Mental strength grows because you act according to your values, not outside pressures. Focus also amplifies self-belief. When you concentrate on your priorities and take deliberate action, you prove to yourself that you can accomplish what you set out to do. Distractions weaken momentum, while focus strengthens your sense of control and reinforces confidence. Protect your attention like a valuable resource. Visualization combined with affirmations can create powerful reinforcement for self-belief. Each morning, take a few minutes to imagine yourself achieving your goals and mentally repeat statements like, I am capable, I am strong, and I can handle challenges. Over time, this mental training reprograms your subconscious, aligning your thoughts and actions with confidence. Another key factor is emotional regulation. Mental strength is not about avoiding emotions, it's about managing them. Strong individuals feel fear, frustration, and doubt, but they don't allow these feelings to dictate behavior. Techniques like deep breathing, journaling, and mindfulness help regulate emotions, keeping your mind clear and focused on action. Building self-belief also involves small wins. Each completed task, every challenge faced, every goal partially achieved, reinforces your belief in yourself. Even minor accomplishments matter because they prove that your efforts produce results. Momentum grows when you acknowledge progress rather than waiting for perfection. Surrounding yourself with supportive people enhances mental strength. Positive influences provide encouragement, advice, and perspective when obstacles arise. At the same time, distancing yourself from those who consistently doubt or criticize your abilities protects your confidence. Your social environment directly impacts how you see yourself and your potential. Mental strength is tested during adversity. Challenges will come that feel bigger than you. The question is not whether difficulties arise, they will, but whether you have the inner resources to navigate them. Self-belief provides the foundation. Mental toughness equips you with strategies, focus, and resilience. Together they allow you to persevere. One practical strategy for mental toughness is reframing challenges. Instead of seeing problems as barriers, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? Each obstacle becomes a tool for developing new skills, gaining knowledge, and reinforcing belief in your ability to succeed. Consistency is another pillar of self-belief. The more you follow through on daily actions, the more you prove to yourself that you are reliable and capable. Even small actions repeated over time build an unshakable sense of competence. Self-belief grows because it's based on evidence, your own consistent performance. Remember that self-belief is not arrogance. It's quiet confidence that you can handle challenges. Mental strength is not rigidity, it's flexibility under pressure. The combination of the two allows you to approach life's difficulties with courage, focus, and resilience. Finally, internalize the idea that setbacks are temporary and learning is constant. Every failure, mistake, or challenge is part of the journey. By maintaining belief in yourself and cultivating mental strength, you can navigate any obstacle and continue progressing toward your goals. Your mindset becomes your superpower, guiding you forward even when external circumstances are difficult. Harnessing self-belief and mental strength transforms your approach to life. You stop doubting yourself at every obstacle, you take decisive action, and you face challenges with courage and clarity. The more you practice these skills, the more automatic they become. You don't just endure difficulties, you use them to grow, learn, and achieve. Chapter 10: Developing a strong action plan and maintaining focus. Goals without a plan are like ships without a compass. You might move, but you won't know if you're headed in the right direction. Developing a strong action plan gives your goals structure, clarity, and momentum. It turns big ideas into manageable steps and ensures that your focus stays sharp even when distractions appear. The first step in creating an action plan is to clearly define your goal. Be specific. Instead of saying, "I want to get fit," say, "I will exercise 4 times a week for 30 minutes and eat balanced meals daily." Specificity gives your brain something concrete to work toward. Vague goals lead to hesitation, while clarity produces action. Next, break your goal into smaller steps. Large objectives can feel overwhelming, and without steps, it's easy to get stuck. Each step should be realistic and achievable. For example, if your goal is to write a book, your first steps might include creating an outline, writing 300 words per day, or researching your topic. Breaking goals into steps creates momentum because small wins reinforce progress. Prioritization is crucial. Not all actions are equally important. Identify tasks that have the biggest impact on your goal and tackle them first. Focus on high-value activities that move you closer to your objective. Low-priority tasks can wait, or you can delegate them. This ensures your energy is directed toward what truly matters, keeping your action plan efficient and purposeful. Deadlines enhance accountability. Assign a timeline to each step in your plan. Without deadlines, it's easy to procrastinate. When you know exactly when a task should be completed, your brain responds with urgency. Deadlines create focus because they give you a clear framework for action, helping you avoid unnecessary delays. Visualization is a helpful tool when developing your plan. Picture yourself completing each step. Imagine the effort, the challenges, and the satisfaction of accomplishment. Visualization prepares your mind for action and increases confidence. When you see yourself succeeding in your mind, taking the real steps feels natural and achievable. Another key aspect is flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles are inevitable. A strong plan is not rigid. It adapts when circumstances change. Adjust your plan rather than abandoning your goal. Flexibility ensures continuity and keeps momentum intact. The ability to pivot is part of strategic thinking and demonstrates mental resilience. Focus is the engine that drives your action plan. It's not enough to know what to do. You must dedicate attention and energy to each step. Minimize distractions, turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, and allocate time blocks for deep work. Protecting your focus ensures that every action produces meaningful results. One strategy for maintaining focus is time blocking. Set aside specific periods for focused work on your goal. During these blocks, do nothing else. Your mind can't divide attention effectively. Trying to multitask reduces both efficiency and quality. Time blocking ensures your attention is fully dedicated to the task at hand, reinforcing progress. Progress tracking is another essential element. Keep a record of completed steps, milestones reached, and challenges overcome. Seeing tangible evidence of progress motivates continued action. It also provides insight into what works and what needs adjustment. A written or digital log becomes a feedback loop, helping you refine your plan and strengthen your focus. Accountability partners amplify both planning and focus. Share your plan with someone you trust. Regular check-ins with a mentor, friend, or coach create external motivation and encourage follow-through. When someone else is aware of your steps, you're less likely to skip tasks. Accountability enhances discipline and reinforces the habit of consistent action. Energy management is vital for maintaining focus. Physical and mental fatigue can derail even the best plans. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise to sustain energy levels. High energy allows you to concentrate longer, think more clearly, and handle unexpected challenges. Treat your body as an essential part of your action plan. It powers every decision and task. A strong plan also includes contingency steps. Anticipate possible obstacles and have solutions ready. When unexpected problems arise, you'll continue moving forward without losing momentum. Contingency planning transforms potential setbacks into manageable challenges and keeps your focus intact under pressure. Eliminate unnecessary tasks. Your attention is limited, and every unnecessary action drains your energy. Focus on steps that directly contribute to your goal. Removing distractions, decluttering your environment, and simplifying processes make your plan more effective. Less noise equals more clarity, allowing you to work smarter, not harder. Mental preparation is equally important. Mentally rehearse difficult steps in advance. Consider challenges you might face, how you'll respond, and what strategies you'll use. Mental rehearsal builds confidence, reduces anxiety, and ensures smoother execution. When you anticipate obstacles, you're less likely to be thrown off course. Discipline sustains focus when motivation wanes. Motivation fluctuates, discipline does not. A strong action plan relies on consistent effort, not bursts of inspiration. Commit to showing up daily, completing steps even when enthusiasm is low. Discipline builds momentum, which then reinforces both confidence and focus. Regular review of your plan is necessary for ongoing improvement. Set aside time each week to evaluate progress, identify gaps, and adjust timelines or steps. Reflection ensures that your plan remains relevant, efficient, and aligned with your ultimate goal. It also helps you stay accountable to yourself, which strengthens self-belief and focus. Breaking complex tasks into smaller, time-bound actions prevents overwhelm. Large projects can stall focus because the brain perceives them as daunting. By reducing tasks into manageable chunks, you make progress tangible and less intimidating. Each small completion reinforces capability, motivation, and mental clarity. Celebrate milestones along the way. Recognition of achievements, no matter how minor, reinforces your action plan. Small celebrations boost morale, sustain motivation, and provide emotional reinforcement. They create a positive feedback loop, encouraging you to continue pursuing the next step with energy and determination. Self-talk during execution affects focus. Replace negative thoughts like "I'll never finish this" with positive affirmations, such as "I can do this step" or "I am making progress." Encouraging self-talk maintains confidence, reduces stress, and keeps your attention on productive action rather than fear or doubt. Account for rest periods in your plan. Continuous work without breaks leads to burnout, which destroys focus. Structured breaks recharge both mind and body, allowing for sustained attention and productivity. Momentum is stronger when energy is managed wisely, not depleted through exhaustion. The action plan should include clear priorities. When multiple tasks compete for attention, focus on high-impact activities first. This ensures your efforts produce meaningful progress. Low-priority tasks can be delegated, postponed, or simplified. Prioritization keeps your plan lean and effective, preventing wasted energy. Finally, remember that a strong action plan is a living tool. It evolves as you learn, grow, and encounter new information. Flexibility, consistent review, and adaptation keep it effective. A plan without adjustment becomes stagnant. A plan with reflection and refinement continues to propel you forward. By creating a detailed action plan, protecting your focus, managing energy, and adapting as needed, you transform ambition into consistent progress. Your goals are no longer abstract ideas. They are a sequence of actionable, achievable steps that move you steadily toward success. Chapter 11. Staying motivated during long-term goals. Motivation is what starts a goal, but consistency is what finishes it. When you set long-term goals, the initial excitement often fades. The challenge isn't starting, it's staying motivated when progress feels slow. Obstacles appear, and life demands your attention elsewhere. Understanding how to maintain motivation over the long haul is essential for turning ambitious goals into real results. The first step in sustaining motivation is connecting your goal to a clear purpose. Ask yourself, why am I pursuing this goal? When your goal aligns with your values, passions, and long-term vision, you have a natural source of energy that drives action even when external rewards seem distant. Purpose becomes a fuel that keeps you moving when excitement fades. Break large goals into smaller milestones. Long-term goals can feel overwhelming if you focus only on the finish line. By creating intermediate targets, you generate regular moments of achievement that reinforce motivation. Each milestone acts as proof that progress is happening, which strengthens confidence and provides momentum for the next step. Tracking progress visually is a powerful motivator. Write down achievements, mark off completed tasks, or use charts to measure advancement. When you see tangible evidence of your efforts, it encourages you to keep going. Progress tracking transforms abstract goals into visible proof that your actions are working, which sustains motivation. Another key strategy is to celebrate small wins. Long-term goals are a series of small actions combined over time. Recognizing accomplishments along the way provides positive reinforcement. Celebrate the completion of tasks, the mastery of new skills, or the consistency you maintain. These celebrations remind you that the journey itself is valuable. Motivation is also influenced by mindset. Adopt a growth mindset, which views challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles. When setbacks occur, focus on what you can learn rather than how far you've fallen. Seeing difficulties as part of the learning process prevents discouragement and keeps motivation steady. Setbacks are inevitable during long-term goals, but preparation helps. Anticipate obstacles and plan how you'll handle them. Knowing you have strategies in place to deal with challenges reduces anxiety and prevents loss of motivation. Each time you overcome a setback, confidence grows, reinforcing your commitment to the goal. Energy management is crucial for long-term motivation. Consistent sleep, proper nutrition, and regular exercise maintain the physical and mental stamina necessary to persist over months or years. Fatigue can undermine motivation, making tasks feel heavier than they are. Protecting your energy ensures that your drive remains strong. Create routines and habits that support your goal. Motivation fluctuates daily, but habits provide consistency. When tasks become part of your daily rhythm, you continue progressing even when excitement wanes. Habits reduce reliance on willpower alone, allowing you to maintain momentum over the long term. Another strategy is to remind yourself of past successes. Reflecting on challenges you've overcome, skills you've learned, and goals you've achieved reinforces the belief that you can succeed again. Your own history becomes evidence that effort leads to results, which strengthens motivation for new challenges. Accountability enhances long-term motivation. Share your goal with someone who supports and challenges you. Regular check-ins keep you committed and reduce the temptation to procrastinate. When someone else is aware of your progress, you're more likely to stay consistent and maintain focus. Visualization keeps motivation alive. Imagine yourself completing your long-term goal. Picture the feelings of accomplishment, pride, and satisfaction. Visualization activates the brain in the same way as real action, reinforcing your commitment and energizing your efforts. The more vivid your mental picture, the stronger your drive becomes. Self-talk also affects motivation. Replace thoughts like "I can't do this," or "it's too hard" with "I'm capable of learning," or "every step counts." Encouraging inner dialogue strengthens perseverance, reduces doubt, and keeps you focused on actions that move you forward. Positive self-talk creates a mental environment where motivation thrives. Adaptability is essential for long-term goals. Circumstances change, and challenges may require adjustments. Staying rigid can lead to frustration and loss of motivation. By being flexible and adapting your strategies, you maintain a sense of control and confidence, which keeps your energy focused on progress rather than setbacks. Break monotony by introducing variety. Repeating the same actions without change can make motivation fade. Find ways to refresh your approach. Try new methods, explore different environments, or learn new skills related to your goal. Variety keeps the process engaging while maintaining focus on the ultimate objective. Connecting with others pursuing similar goals can boost motivation. Join groups, forums, or communities where people share experiences, challenges, and successes. Supportive networks inspire commitment, provide advice, and create a sense of shared purpose, which strengthens motivation over time. Set realistic expectations. Understand that long-term goals require sustained effort, and that progress may be slow at times. Avoid comparing your pace to others. Motivation falters when you expect instant results. Focus on continuous improvement and celebrate the small victories that indicate forward movement. Account for mental breaks. Continuous work without rest can lead to burnout, reducing motivation. Schedule regular downtime to recharge. Breaks allow your mind to recover, process learning, and return to work with renewed energy and clarity. Motivation is sustained when effort is balanced with rest. Revisit your why regularly. Motivation wanes when goals feel disconnected from your purpose. Take time to remind yourself why your goal matters. Write it down, reflect, or create visual reminders. Purpose-driven motivation lasts longer than excitement alone, giving you strength during challenging periods. Anticipate moments of doubt and plan responses. Have strategies ready to counter negative thoughts or self-doubt. This could include motivational quotes, affirmations, or reflecting on past achievements. Preparedness allows you to maintain focus even when confidence wavers, sustaining long-term motivation. Breaking tasks into daily actions prevents overwhelm. When a long-term goal feels massive, it can paralyze effort. Focus on what you can do today, this week, or this month. Small, consistent actions accumulate into significant progress, and each step reinforces motivation by demonstrating tangible results. Reward consistency, not just outcomes. Long-term motivation thrives when effort is recognized independently of immediate results. Praise yourself for showing up, completing tasks, and maintaining habits. Recognition of consistent effort builds endurance and commitment, keeping you engaged over months or years. Finally, understand that motivation is cyclical. There will be days of high energy and enthusiasm, and days of low drive. Accept the natural fluctuations and rely on systems, habits, and discipline to keep moving forward. Motivation doesn't have to be constant. It's the consistent action through varying motivation that achieves long-term success. By connecting to purpose, celebrating progress, managing energy, and creating habits, you ensure motivation continues even when excitement fades. Long-term goals demand persistence, planning, and adaptability. By applying these strategies, you transform ambition into sustained action, keeping your focus sharp and your drive alive. Chapter 12: Overcoming Procrastination and Maintaining Consistent Action. Procrastination is one of the biggest obstacles standing between you and your goals. It disguises itself as comfort, relaxation, or waiting for the right moment, but in reality, it steals time, energy, and momentum. If you want to achieve goals that stretch you, learning how to overcome procrastination and maintain consistent action is essential. The first step is understanding why you procrastinate. People delay tasks for many reasons: fear of failure, perfectionism, overwhelm, or lack of motivation. Identifying the root cause helps you address it directly. For example, if fear is the issue, reframing failure as learning can reduce avoidance. If overwhelm is the problem, breaking tasks into smaller steps makes them manageable. Breaking large tasks into smaller, specific actions is one of the most effective strategies. Long-term goals can feel daunting when viewed as a single massive challenge. By dividing a goal into daily or weekly tasks, you create a roadmap that feels achievable. Each small step completed reinforces progress and makes the next step easier, reducing the urge to procrastinate. Set clear deadlines for every task. Open-ended timelines encourage delay. Deadlines create urgency and focus. When you know exactly when a task should be completed, your mind prioritizes action over hesitation. Deadlines transform abstract goals into concrete commitments that are easier to follow through on consistently. Prioritize your tasks using methods like the most important task first. Doing the most significant or impactful task early in the day prevents procrastination from taking over. Completing high-priority tasks gives a sense of accomplishment, builds momentum, and reduces mental clutter, making subsequent tasks easier to tackle. Eliminate distractions to maintain focus. Technology, social media, and environmental noise can derail even the most motivated individuals. Design a workspace that encourages productivity. Silence notifications, set boundaries with others, and create a clear environment that signals work time. Reducing distractions minimizes procrastination and strengthens consistent action. Time management techniques like the Pomodoro method can help you stay on track. Work in focused bursts, such as 25 minutes, followed by a short break. Structured intervals prevent burnout, maintain energy, and create a rhythm of consistent action. The key is to start, even imperfectly, and let focus carry you forward. Self-talk plays a critical role in overcoming procrastination. Replace statements like "I don't feel like it" with "I will do this step now," or "I am capable of completing this task." Positive, action-oriented language shifts your mindset from avoidance to engagement. How you talk to yourself directly influences your behavior. Accountability strengthens consistent action. Share your goals and progress with someone you trust. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitments increases responsibility. Regular check-ins, reporting, or even publicly declaring your progress adds external motivation, making procrastination less likely. Reward systems are effective tools for combating delay. Small incentives for completing tasks create positive reinforcement. Rewards do not need to be large. Acknowledging progress, taking a short break, or enjoying a small treat can motivate continued action. Reinforcement builds habits that reduce procrastination over time. Preparation reduces avoidance. Procrastination often occurs because a task seems difficult or unclear. Clarify the steps required, gather resources, and plan in advance. The easier it is to start, the less mental friction exists. Once you take the first step, momentum carries you forward, making consistent action easier. Mindset also matters. Perfectionism is a common cause of delay. Many people postpone tasks because they fear results will be imperfect. Accept that doing something imperfectly is better than doing nothing at all. Action creates progress. Waiting for perfection creates stagnation. Shift focus from flawless outcomes to consistent effort. Visualizing the benefits of completing tasks can increase motivation. Imagine the sense of accomplishment, progress, and relief that comes from finishing work. This mental rehearsal strengthens commitment and counteracts the temptation to procrastinate. When you feel the reward mentally, taking action becomes easier. Energy management plays a role in consistent action. When fatigue or low energy occurs, procrastination is more likely. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise to maintain both mental and physical stamina. A well-rested, energized mind is far more capable of tackling tasks efficiently and avoiding delay. Developing routines and habits reduces reliance on willpower alone. When actions become habitual, they happen automatically, even on days when motivation is low. Habits create structure, making consistent action natural rather than forced. Focus on building small daily habits that align with your long-term goals. Account for obstacles before they occur. Identify situations where procrastination usually arises and plan countermeasures. For instance, if you tend to delay tasks when tired, schedule work earlier in the day. If distractions arise from technology, create focused work periods with strict boundaries. Anticipation reduces hesitation and strengthens follow-through. Breaking monotony helps maintain engagement. Repetitive work can trigger procrastination. Vary tasks when possible, rotate projects, or introduce creative approaches to maintain interest. Mental stimulation prevents boredom, which is a common trigger for delay, ensuring continuous action toward your goal. Tracking progress visually provides motivation and accountability. Keep a journal, checklist, or chart of completed tasks. Each mark of progress reinforces capability, reduces avoidance, and encourages continued action. Tangible evidence of achievement combats procrastination by reminding you of success already achieved. When you feel the urge to procrastinate, use the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. This principle reduces the number of small tasks that accumulate and become overwhelming. Completing even minor actions triggers momentum and reinforces productive habits. Another technique is breaking the cycle of overthinking. Analysis paralysis can paralyze action. Commit to starting before perfect clarity is achieved. Action clarifies strategy. Once you begin, feedback from the first steps guides improvement, preventing delay caused by excessive planning. Self-compassion is important. Avoid harsh self-criticism for past procrastination. Blaming yourself erodes motivation and confidence. Instead, acknowledge the delay, reset, and take immediate action. A compassionate approach reduces guilt, strengthens focus, and enhances sustained effort. Consistency compounds over time. Daily small actions create momentum that eventually leads to significant results. Even minimal steps, taken repeatedly, accumulate into measurable progress. Procrastination is broken when each day contributes to long-term growth, reinforcing the habit of action. Finally, remember that procrastination is not a character flaw, it's a behavior pattern. It can be unlearned through intentional strategies, consistent practice, and self-awareness. By applying these tools, clarifying goals, breaking tasks into steps, managing energy, eliminating distractions, and tracking progress, you maintain consistent action and steadily advance toward goals that stretch you. Chapter 13: Cultivating Patience and Persistence. Patience and persistence are two of the most important qualities for achieving goals that stretch you. Big goals take time, effort, and consistent action. Without patience, you may give up when results don't come immediately. Without persistence, obstacles and setbacks can stop you entirely. Together, patience and persistence create the long-term drive necessary for real success. The first step is understanding the value of patience. Progress often comes slowly, and results may not appear for weeks, months, or even years. Accepting that growth takes time reduces frustration and prevents premature quitting. Patience doesn't mean inaction, it means continuing consistent effort while trusting that results will arrive. Persistence is the ability to keep moving forward despite challenges. It's the quality that separates those who achieve their goals from those who abandon them. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures are inevitable. Persistent people see difficulties as temporary and solvable. They adjust their approach, learn from mistakes, and keep going. Persistence combined with patience ensures steady progress toward your objective. One way to cultivate patience is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Long-term goals can feel overwhelming when your mind fixates only on the end result. By appreciating the small steps, daily actions, and incremental progress, you stay engaged and motivated. The journey itself becomes meaningful, and patience grows naturally. Setting realistic expectations supports both patience and persistence. Understand that big goals cannot be completed overnight. Unrealistic expectations lead to frustration and loss of motivation. By breaking a goal into achievable milestones, you create a path that is manageable and reinforces consistent effort. Each completed step strengthens both patience and confidence. Develop routines and habits to build persistence. When certain actions become part of your daily life, they happen automatically. Habits reduce reliance on fluctuating motivation, which is often the reason people give up. Persistence is easier when your daily actions are structured, consistent, and aligned with your ultimate goal. Mindset is crucial for both qualities. Adopt a growth mindset, viewing setbacks as opportunities to learn rather than signs of failure. Mistakes, delays, and obstacles are part of the process. Each challenge you overcome increases your skill, experience, and resilience. Seeing growth in this way strengthens patience and encourages continued effort. Visualization can reinforce persistence. Imagine yourself working through challenges and achieving your goal. Picture the effort, the discipline, and the eventual success. This mental practice prepares your mind to endure setbacks without losing focus or confidence. When you visualize the journey, patience and persistence feel natural rather than forced. Accountability helps maintain persistence. Sharing your goals with a mentor, friend, or supportive community creates external motivation. Knowing someone else is aware of your commitments encourages you to stay consistent, even when progress feels slow. Accountability adds structure to persistence and reinforces long-term dedication. Energy management impacts both patience and persistence. Fatigue and burnout reduce your ability to stay consistent and increase impatience. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise to maintain stamina for sustained effort. A well-maintained body supports a focused, patient, and persistent mind, allowing you to tackle challenges over the long term. Emotional regulation is another key element. Patience requires controlling frustration, anxiety, and impulsivity. Persistent action requires managing discouragement and disappointment. Techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, and reflection help you remain calm and focused even when progress is slow or obstacles appear. Celebrate small wins along the way. Even minor achievements reinforce the value of patience and the power of persistence. Each step completed proves that consistent effort pays off. Celebrating progress strengthens your mindset, giving you motivation to continue working steadily toward your larger goal. Develop problem-solving skills to enhance persistence. Challenges are inevitable, but the ability to find solutions keeps you moving forward. Break obstacles into smaller parts, brainstorm options, and choose the most effective strategy. Persistence thrives when challenges are approached logically and systematically. Self-talk is crucial for maintaining both patience and persistence. Replace thoughts like "this is taking too long" with "every step brings me closer," or "I will keep going until I succeed." Positive inner dialogue reinforces belief in yourself and the process, making it easier to remain patient and persistent over time. Time management supports sustained effort. Long-term goals require consistent action over weeks, months, or years. Schedule tasks, allocate time blocks for focused work, and review progress regularly. Proper planning reduces stress, prevents procrastination, and strengthens the ability to persist through challenges. Flexibility enhances both qualities. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected changes can disrupt progress. Patience allows you to accept delays, while persistence ensures you continue despite them. Being flexible in your approach helps maintain focus, reduces frustration, and allows you to keep moving toward your goal. Reflecting on your why reinforces patience and persistence. When progress feels slow or obstacles appear, remind yourself why the goal matters. A strong sense of purpose fuels endurance, helping you tolerate delays and maintain consistent effort even when motivation dips. Account for setbacks as part of the journey. Everyone faces obstacles when pursuing significant goals. Viewing setbacks as temporary rather than permanent helps maintain patience. Each recovery strengthens persistence and builds confidence in your ability to overcome future challenges. Growth comes from consistent effort, not speed. Avoid comparing your pace to others. Focus on steady progress, incremental improvement, and mastery over time. Patience allows you to endure the journey, while persistence ensures you continue making meaningful steps toward your goal. Teach yourself to delay gratification. Many people give up because immediate comfort seems more appealing than long-term reward. Patience trains you to wait for results, and persistence ensures that effort continues despite temporary discomfort. Mastering delayed gratification strengthens both mental resilience and commitment to your goals. Mentally rehearse challenges before they occur. Imagine obstacles and your response to them. Planning responses in advance strengthens confidence, reduces stress, and reinforces persistence. Patience grows because you approach difficulties with preparation rather than frustration. Finally, understand that patience and persistence are skills developed over time. The more you practice enduring delays, maintaining effort, and overcoming challenges, the stronger these qualities become. They are not innate traits. They are habits of thought and action that anyone can cultivate with intention and discipline. By integrating routines, mindset strategies, energy management, reflection, and consistent effort, you develop patience and persistence that carry you through even the most challenging goals. These qualities allow you to remain steady, adaptable, and focused, ensuring that your actions continue to produce results over the long term. Chapter 14. Measuring success and making adjustments. Measuring success is more than celebrating the finish line. It's about tracking progress, understanding what's working, and making adjustments when necessary. Without measurement, it's impossible to know if your actions are moving you closer to your goals. Measuring success and adapting ensures your efforts remain effective and aligned with your vision. The first step in measuring success is defining what it looks like for your specific goal. Success is not always the final outcome. It can be incremental progress, improved skills, or milestones achieved. Be clear about the indicators that show progress. For example, if your goal is fitness, success might be completing workouts consistently, increasing strength, or maintaining a balanced diet. Clear criteria provide a way to measure effort objectively. Tracking progress visually reinforces achievement and motivation. Keep a journal, use charts, or maintain checklists to record completed tasks. When you can see evidence of your actions over time, it becomes easier to maintain focus and recognize improvement. Progress tracking turns abstract effort into tangible results that validate your work. Another essential step is reflecting regularly. Schedule weekly or monthly reviews to evaluate what worked and what didn't. Ask questions like, did I complete the tasks I planned? Which strategies were most effective? Where did I encounter obstacles? Reflection provides insight that informs adjustments and keeps your goal achievable. Adjustments are a natural part of the process. Rarely do goals follow a straight path. Life changes. Unexpected challenges arise, and priorities shift. Flexibility allows you to modify your plan without abandoning your objective. Adjustments ensure that your actions remain relevant and effective, rather than rigidly following a plan that no longer fits. Break down long-term goals into measurable milestones. Milestones act as checkpoints, providing evidence of progress and opportunities for course correction. Achieving a milestone demonstrates capability, while a missed milestone signals the need for adjustment. Regularly reviewing milestones ensures your actions are aligned with your overall goal. Use both qualitative and quantitative measures. Numbers, metrics, or measurable results provide objective indicators, while qualitative reflections like confidence, skill development, and personal growth offer insight into progress that numbers alone can't capture. Both types of measurement give a complete picture of success. Seek feedback from trusted sources. Mentors, colleagues, or peers can provide perspective you might overlook. Constructive feedback highlights areas for improvement and identifies strengths. Listening carefully and acting on feedback is a powerful way to make adjustments that enhance success and ensure continuous progress. Celebrate progress, even when adjustments are needed. Tracking milestones and completing tasks deserves recognition, regardless of setbacks. Acknowledging achievement reinforces motivation and reminds you that effort is producing results. Success is both the journey and the destination, and celebration keeps you engaged throughout. Identify patterns in your progress. Are there specific times, strategies, or conditions that increase productivity? Conversely, are there factors that hinder progress? Recognizing patterns allows you to replicate successful approaches and eliminate obstacles. Adjustments become strategic rather than reactive. Flexibility in goal setting is essential. Sometimes, initial goals may need refinement. Perhaps the timeline is unrealistic, the scope too broad, or priorities have changed. Adjusting goals doesn't indicate failure, it reflects awareness, adaptability, and commitment to meaningful results. A well-adjusted goal maintains challenge while staying achievable. Account for both successes and failures. Failures aren't reasons to quit, they are information. Analyze why something didn't work, extract lessons, and implement improvements. A goal-oriented mindset treats setbacks as a learning opportunity. Measuring success includes learning from mistakes to optimize future performance. Document lessons learned. Keep notes on strategies, decisions, and outcomes. Recording insights helps refine future plans, prevents repeated mistakes, and provides a reference for future goals. A written log reinforces clarity, accountability, and focus, enhancing both measurement and adjustment processes. Time-bound evaluation enhances effectiveness. Set regular intervals for assessment, whether weekly, monthly, or quarterly. Frequent review ensures that adjustments happen in time to impact progress. Waiting too long to evaluate can allow mistakes or inefficiencies to persist, slowing overall achievement. Visualization can support measurement. Mentally review tasks completed, challenges overcome, and progress toward your goal. This practice reinforces your awareness of success and helps identify areas needing adjustment. Visualization keeps your mind aligned with both the objective and the process. Self-talk influences perception of progress. Avoid negative thoughts like "I'm behind" or "I've failed." Instead, focus on effort, lessons learned, and improvements made. Positive self-talk strengthens motivation, encourages reflection, and promotes strategic adjustments rather than discouragement. Consider long-term trends, not just short-term outcomes. Some goals fluctuate naturally, and temporary setbacks don't indicate failure. Evaluate patterns over weeks or months to gain a true picture of progress. Long-term perspective builds patience and ensures that adjustments are meaningful rather than reactionary. Balance effort with flexibility. While consistency is crucial, rigid adherence to a plan can limit growth. Measurement and adjustment allow you to stay responsive, improving strategies without losing sight of your ultimate goal. Adaptation ensures your work remains efficient, relevant, and effective. Engage your support network during reviews. Discussing progress and potential adjustments with mentors, peers, or coaches provides external perspective and encouragement. They can highlight blind spots, suggest solutions, and help maintain motivation. Feedback strengthens both measurement and adjustment processes. Recognize the role of discipline in sustaining adjustments. Changing strategies or improving methods requires consistent effort. Discipline ensures that you follow through on adjustments, reinforcing progress rather than leaving ideas as intentions. Action is the bridge between insight and achievement. Set SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, when evaluating success and adjusting plans. SMART criteria provide clear guidance on what progress looks like and how adjustments can maintain alignment with goals. They offer structure for evaluation and clarity for decision-making. Remember that success is dynamic, not static. Achieving goals is not a single moment, it's continuous improvement and alignment with purpose. Measurement and adjustment ensure that your journey remains productive, efficient, and meaningful. Goals stretch you, but strategy keeps you moving effectively. By measuring success, reflecting on outcomes, incorporating feedback, and making thoughtful adjustments, you maintain a path toward meaningful achievement. The process reinforces learning, builds confidence, and ensures that goals remain challenging, yet attainable. Measurement and adaptation are the tools that turn effort into real progress. Chapter 15: Sustaining Growth and Continuing to Stretch Yourself. Setting goals and achieving them is an important part of personal development, but true growth doesn't stop at one accomplishment. To reach your full potential, you must learn to sustain growth and continually challenge yourself with new goals. Lifelong growth requires mindset, habits, and strategies that keep you moving forward, no matter how successful you become. The first step is reflection. Take time to review past achievements, challenges overcome, and lessons learned. Reflection helps you understand what strategies worked, what habits were effective, and where improvement is still possible. By analyzing past experiences, you gain insight that guides future growth and ensures that progress continues. A growth mindset is essential for sustaining development. Embrace challenges, seek feedback, and view failure as an opportunity to learn. People with a growth mindset are not limited by past performance. They believe their abilities can expand through effort and learning. This mindset allows you to see every goal as a chance to stretch further. Continual learning is another key component. Read books, take courses, attend seminars, or engage in discussions that expand your knowledge. Learning keeps your mind active, provides new perspectives, and strengthens skills. Each new idea or skill becomes a tool you can apply to reach higher goals. Sustained growth depends on an ongoing commitment to learning. Set new goals that build on previous achievements. Once you accomplish a goal, use it as a foundation for the next challenge. Incremental improvement ensures you are constantly pushing boundaries. Avoid stagnation by defining objectives that stretch your capabilities. Not just repeat what you already know. Growth thrives when you aim higher continuously. Habits play a crucial role in maintaining progress. Identify habits that supported past success and strengthen them further. Simultaneously, evaluate areas where new habits are needed. Daily routines, consistent practice, and disciplined action create an environment where growth becomes automatic rather than forced. Accountability continues to be important. Even after achieving major goals, share progress with mentors, peers, or supportive communities. Regular feedback provides perspective, highlights areas for improvement, and keeps motivation alive. Accountability encourages sustained effort and prevents complacency. Regular assessment helps identify areas for adjustment. Track your progress, measure outcomes, and reflect on strategies. Growth requires responsiveness. If something isn't producing results, modify your approach. Being adaptable ensures that your efforts remain effective and aligned with evolving goals. Maintain curiosity. A curious mind seeks new challenges, asks questions, and explores possibilities. Curiosity fuels creativity, problem-solving, and innovation, which are essential for continued development. When you stay curious, growth becomes a natural part of life, rather than a forced process. Balance ambition with patience. While stretching yourself is necessary, sustainable growth requires steady, consistent effort. Avoid rushing or overloading yourself with goals. Focus on incremental progress, celebrating small achievements along the way. Patience allows you to build skill, confidence, and resilience over time. Self-belief remains vital. Trust in your ability to learn, adapt, and overcome challenges. Confidence reinforces action, perseverance, and the willingness to take risks. Sustained growth depends on believing that effort will lead to improvement, even when progress seems slow or obstacles appear. Surround yourself with a growth-oriented environment. Connect with people who inspire, challenge, and support you. Learn from mentors, collaborate with peers, and distance yourself from influences that discourage effort or foster complacency. Your environment significantly impacts motivation, perspective, and the ability to continue stretching yourself. Celebrate achievements, but avoid complacency. Recognition of success provides motivation, but true growth continues when you look forward to new opportunities. Each accomplishment should act as a stepping stone, not a final destination. Continuous goal setting ensures that personal development is ongoing. Adaptation is essential as life circumstances change. Personal, professional, and social contexts evolve, requiring adjustments in goals and strategies. Flexibility allows you to stay on track despite unexpected changes, ensuring that growth remains consistent and aligned with your vision. Visualization can reinforce sustained growth. Picture yourself achieving progressively challenging goals and applying new skills. This mental rehearsal strengthens confidence, motivation, and focus. Visualization helps align your actions with long-term objectives, making continued stretching natural and intentional. Energy management supports consistent progress, maintaining physical and mental stamina through rest, nutrition, and exercise allows you to sustain effort over years, not just weeks. Growth requires endurance. Without proper care of your mind and body, effort diminishes and goals become harder to achieve. Resilience ensures growth continues despite setbacks. Challenges, failures, and obstacles are inevitable. Resilient individuals recover, adapt, and keep moving forward. Each recovery strengthens skill, confidence, and determination, creating a cycle of continuous improvement and sustained effort. Innovation and creativity drive growth. Don't just repeat what worked in the past. Seek new methods, strategies, and perspectives. Experimentation leads to discovery, skill expansion, and more effective ways of achieving goals. Pushing boundaries intellectually and practically ensures you continue to stretch yourself. Reflection and journaling support long-term development. Writing down progress, insights, and future plans clarifies thought, reinforces learning, and provides a roadmap for ongoing growth. Journaling allows you to track personal evolution, celebrate milestones, and make informed adjustments to your approach. Commitment to lifelong growth means viewing development as a journey, not a destination. Goals are milestones, not endpoints. Each challenge faced, skill acquired, or lesson learned contributes to continuous improvement. This perspective keeps motivation, focus, and effort aligned with your personal and professional vision. Mindful evaluation of effort versus results is critical. Analyze whether your actions are producing intended outcomes and adjust where necessary. Growth is maximized when effort is deliberate, strategies are effective, and actions align with long-term goals. Continuous assessment prevents wasted energy and ensures meaningful progress. Patience, persistence, and adaptability remain essential throughout. Big achievements don't happen overnight. By sustaining these qualities and applying lessons from previous goals, you maintain momentum and continually raise the bar. Each step forward builds confidence, skill, and readiness for the next challenge. Finally, embrace the mindset that growth never ends. There is always a new goal to pursue, a skill to develop, or a challenge to overcome. By committing to lifelong improvement, nurturing habits, reflecting on progress, and stretching your capabilities continuously, you ensure that personal development remains a central, enduring part of your life. Sustaining growth transforms achievement into a lifestyle. You learn to set higher goals, tackle challenges with confidence, and continuously refine your approach. Life becomes a journey of consistent improvement, and your potential expands as you embrace challenges, adapt strategies, and never stop stretching yourself.